Talk about all of the cues that you should track as we get into a fresh trading session. We have Sonal, Nigel, as well as Vahishta joining us with the trade setup and to also take us through all of the individual stocks that could be in the news today. Guys, a very good morning to all of you. And Sonal, it's across to you first. Take us through all of the cues that we should track for our markets this morning.
Good morning, Pavitra, and festive greetings to you as well. Happy Diwali to everyone. Well, yesterday we did trade. It was the Muhura trading session, and on lower volumes, we saw that the frontline indices, they were up 1%. But as I said, they were lower volumes yesterday, so today we are expecting volumes to get better and to the normalized levels. So frontline indices were up 1% and markets, they closed at a 1-month high, and it was the 7th consecutive session of gains for our own markets. ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank, they were the top contributors, with Bank Nifty the one which was leading the charge in yesterday's trading session. Now today is the penultimate day before we go into expiry, that is on Thursday, because again tomorrow we are not trading, so it is going to be a truncated week. So we'll watch out for moves in the last 1 hour of trading session. That is going to be something very important. On the downside, Nifty support comes in at 17,500. On the upside, we'll be looking at levels of 17,900. And strong banking results over the weekend is something which will support Nifty today. In terms of US markets, or the global markets, so to say, US markets, they were up for the 2nd consecutive day. And a lot of these tech-related names, they are going to be in focus today. Big earnings expected this week. On Tuesday, Microsoft and Alphabet. On Wednesday, it's Meta. And on Thursday, we have earnings coming in from Amazon and Apple. So US market moves primarily will be driven by tech-related names. Hang Seng was down 6% in yesterday's trading session. Today as well, we are seeing some cuts on that. It's quite flattish, but still, there's no respite, so to say, on that one. So Hang Seng and Taiwanese index both are lower today. If you look at the SGX Nifty, usually you would just look at that. But Nifty futures and SGX Nifty, that is showing some difference of around 90-odd points. So let's see which way things go. It is showing a 90-point uptick. Let's see whether we open in that direction or not. But for now, decent global cues and strong handover from yesterday's trading session.
All right, Sonal, thanks a lot for taking us through all of those cues that we should track. But let's also bring in Vahishta now, who's looking at all of the individual stocks that we should keep on our radar this morning. Vahishta, it's all about earnings.
That's right, Pavitra. It is all about earnings, and there have been a couple of stocks which have released their results in the past few days. The first is Reliance, wherein there has been a strong consumer-facing business. There have been some good numbers coming in from Reliance Jio as well. There have been a record quarterly revenues from the retail business. However, there's been some kind of weakness in the oil-to-chemical business. Moving on to ICICI Bank, wherein the NII has grown by 26% to 14,700 crores, but the slippages have come in at 4,300 crores versus 5,800 crores. Moving on to Kotak Mahindra Bank, where the NII has grown by 27% to 5,100 crores approximately. The slippages have been lower at 983 crores versus 1,400 crores. For SBI Life Insurance, there has been a strong VNB growth led by an improved product mix. The APE was down 1% to 3,900 crores. VNB though was up 24% in this quarter. Moving on to JSW Steel, there has been a miss versus the CNBC-TV18 poll. Though revenues were up 29%, the operating profit has declined by approximately 83% on a year-on-year basis. Moving on to Torrent Pharma, the revenue and EBITDA have missed the estimates by a marginal bit. The revenue has grown, which was led by India plus the Brazil business. The US business rather has declined on a quarter-on-quarter basis due to price erosion and a lack of new launches in this quarter. The last stock is United Spirits. Premiumization is the one that has led the volume growth in this quarter. The overall volumes were up 9% on year-on-year basis. Prestige and above volumes were also up 14% on a year-on-year basis, while popular volumes were up 2% on a year-on-year basis.
That is a long list, Vahishta. Thanks a lot for getting us all of those individual names. We're going to keep them on our radar today. Finally, let me hand it over to Nigel, who's now looking at all of the cues from the futures and options space. Hi, Nigel.
Well, morning. Yesterday, we had a low volume trading session, 11,500 crores, which is more or less in line with what we saw in last motor trading session as well. So the flows, they are not very material. But yesterday, they were mild sellers, institutions. You net both those two numbers out. However, the last few days, the Nifty has been on a winning streak, and that's primarily because institutions, that's the FI and the DI number put it together, they have been net buyers since 14th of October 2022. That's 6 straight sessions that we saw buying. That's prior to yesterday. Yesterday, we're not really considering it because volumes are so low. And on an average, they were buying close to 900 crores. That's been the big driver. The institutions have been buying. The second factor has been the FIs. Well, the shorts have got stuck on the wrong side. Even in yesterday's trading session, though volumes are relatively lower, the FIs covered a large number of their short positions. Close to 13,000 contracts were covered out. And if you look at it in the last few days, well, on Friday morning, we took stock of what the positioning was. At that point of time, the short positioning was at around 73%. That's Thursday's close. Now we wake up to around 66% of their positions on the short side, and the net short positions are only 60,000 contracts. Remember, at one point of time, it was 120,000 short contracts. So quite a large short covering bounce is what we have seen. The options that were active, even in yesterday's trading session, the 17,700 put, well, that added close to 35 lakh shares, or the premium out there is around 71 rupees. So that's giving you a sense at 17,600, 17,630 odd level. That's crucial on the downside. On the upside, you have the 17,800 call, which has a fair bit of open interest. Yesterday, it added more than 11 lakh shares. Premium at around 57 rupees. So let's plug the numbers in then. You have your support at around 17,600. On the upside, 17,850 could be met with some bit of resistance. But as long as the 50 DMA holds out and the dollar index is well behaved at around 112 odd, the long bias is likely to continue. The SGX Nifty, so you need to compare the SGX Nifty with the Nifty futures. So actually, we'll be opening up in the green. Let's see whether or not we go to that resistance zone. Back to you guys.
All right, Nigel, Sonal, as well as Vahishta, thanks a lot for joining us and taking us through the trade setup this morning. With that, it's time for our